Well, hello there. Happy New Year and thanks for joining me on this winter season adventure called New Year, New Me. I was pretty glad with the old me, but there you go. For the choice of cars this week, it was down to A-Class and the division was limited to off-road. I went with the Mercedes-Benz E350 D4 Matic All-Terrain Project E-AT, or EAT, whatever, which is one of the Top Gear cars. I took this car as a bit of a challenge for myself. I also did not want to go with the obvious choices for this event, and that led me to the decision to take a rather normal car to compete with these massive beasts of car. To be honest, I knew that aiming for another hat-trick would be impossible. I knew that even getting near the top would be rather difficult, but as I said, I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to drive something different. I race to win, but I play for fun. First race where I will be playing is the Gardens Cross Country Circuit, which is a race that I normally do not like. I have a bad history with the jump. Something bad happens to me most every time I race on this track. Let's see how I fare this time. While I already get pummeled by a pack of wild rams. And Drivatar is doing that Drivatar. I'm so confused, I do not know which way I should be going thing. And I pretty much survived the jumps without too much trouble. So far so good. I already gained a multitude of places. And then I noticed the problem with my choice of car, choice of tune. It can be slippery. No real surprise there, but far worse than that, it is very hard to get it to stop sliding. Nevertheless, on this next straight, I can gain back the places I lost due to me wanting to demonstrate my ice skating skills. And now I am in 4th place. If I can cling on to this position, I would consider that a pretty good run already. However, I will try to shoot for the stars as I want to finish in front of all Drivatars. And would you know it, luck is with me as the Drivatar has a pretty bad run, so I am able to get that place mid-air. How's that for shooting for the stars? Not too shabby, right? The teammate in 2nd place tries to dismantle one of the ancient columns. He should stick to fighting the sky like his name suggests, not the pillars of creation. He also took out the Drivatar that momentarily took back my 3rd place. All of this allowed me to shoot up to 2nd place. As I tried to stay in front of my pillar-bashing teammate, I must admit that this is a rare case. I am actually enjoying this race for a change. Okay, in part this is because I'm in 2nd place, I can't deny that. But that is not the main reason. The main reason is that the car performs rather well, not taking into account the breakdancing maneuvers from the first lap. And most importantly, the jump never screwed me over. Also not on this lap. However, I do feel the heat is on. The heat of a massive power wagon that is breathing down my neck. A little bump and a massive slide allows him to pass me. However, I have the better run. Can easily gain on him. But unfortunately, this collision triggers the ice skates of my car to appear once more. There goes 2nd place for me. That is the disadvantage of taking a normal car in a field of trucks. But taking that into account, I think both me and the car performed rather well, taking home a 3rd place in this first race. However, let's be honest, this is not really a cross-country race. This is more of a dirt race, as there is little to no crossing actual country. I suspect that this might be the reason behind my 3rd place. As a whole, our team collects almost all available points. Only one teammate that ended up behind some Drivatars. That delivers us our first championship point for the next race. We do not have a circuit race, but a point-to-point race. There will be plenty of crossing the country in this race. So once more, I wonder, how will my car perform? Will we be able to hold our own against some of the largest vehicles in the game? We race towards the coast. And as is accustomed in these types of races, we are not taking into account the many obstacles on the way in this Coastal Rush cross country. My starting position is pretty bad, but the race is long enough that it should not matter all that much. Off we go, and everybody has a decent start. We are all driving all-wheel drive cars, and I assume that is the reason. Now me, I want to take out some lampposts, which is a rather poor decision that costs me 1 place. I almost lose another place by our Skyfighter when a big fight is unraveling up in front. I want to break up the fight and go straight through the middle, separating the fighting parties. A big jump, after which I can barely avoid a golf cart, but I do get to pass one other drivatar. 2 teammates are rubbing one out for one another, and one of them sounds his horn to let the other know of the happy ending. I tried to bump draft a Ram Rebel. Maybe not the wisest of decisions either, as it allows the drivatar to catch up to us. Another big jump, followed by a corner. That for no particular reason at all causes my car to install the ice skates. I swerve in front of the Ram. He delivers a little punt and I have to slow down a lot to still make the checkpoint. I'm in 8th place, but have no speed. So I get passed by another drivatar as well as a teammate. 2 places I can immediately gain back in the next corner, but this still means I lost 3 places. Yet another teammate in trouble at the front. That means 1 more position gained back, but also that is momentarily as I go a bit wide in the next corner. 1 teammate passes me in the corner. The bad run as a result of the corner allows another teammate to pass me. He goes wide, but my car had a taste of this sliding and decides he wants to go on as a Waltzing Matilda. This jump is not suited for my car. I land a bit sideways and another drivatar blasts his way past me. Another one wants to mount me as if this race was not yet 18 plus enough. I decide to go for a major lunge, braking as late as possible, blocking the drivatar, but I do get the move done. Not a clean one, not one I would do to human players, but in this case it allowed me to gain 9th place, in front of 3 drivatars, and that, ladies and gentlemen, should also be my finishing position. Yet it is not. I have no idea how I gained that last position. The drivatar that was in 1st place during the entirety of the race somehow ends up behind all of us. Somehow he gets 9th place, which I think is impossible. But even if that would not have happened, we would be in front points-wise. So yes, this is another victory, with only a little help from yours truly. So even when I'm not doing all too well, we have another last race for honor only. The last race is the single most longest race in the cross-country segment, and fortunately I think the shortest out of all the final races. We are going to battle it out in the Titan, which is a very well suited name, as I have to battle against a whole field of what seems to me as titans compared to my relative small car. The first part is the same as the last part of the previous race, but in reverse, so that should see me well up until the jump, where I will most likely struggle. We head towards the beach with the long corner that my car can take without too much hassle. Drivatars are in trouble as they always are, and 1 Ram finally can pass me on the inside as I go wide. The jump goes, well, as smooth as one could hope for in this car. It still prevents me from gaining the place of the teammate that went very wide and sideways as he recovers before I get the run on him. And somehow this drivatar can pass us like we're hardly moving. That hardly seems fair. But his illogical speed causes him some very logical grief, and that allows me to pass him again. But also another drivatar wants this spot. In the end, I'm in between a rock and a hard place when our Waltzing Matilda makes another appearance. Going up against a roadblock, not frontal, no, sideways, is one of the things that makes it on most people's top list of things to avoid when playing racing games. It seems that it can cause some unwanted slowdowns and allows other cars to pass you. In my case, it did only cost me 2 places. Not enough, my car mesmerized, and Waltzing Matilda is back once again. A bad jump and I can avoid a head-on collision with a tree, but only just. I still hit it, costing me valuable momentum, 8th place and a couple of driver tours on my tail. I want to catch me some driver tours, but as it currently stands, chances are bigger that some driver tours will actually catch me. Sure enough, one of them is not too happy about his current position behind me, so he opens up a can of spinach, and in true Popeye the Sailor Man style, this gives him supernatural strength, and in this case that means speed. Lots and lots of speed. Again, this does not occur to me as fair. As I said in the intro, I took this car as a challenge for myself. The same applies for the tune. There was a tune available for this car specifically designed for this cross-country event, but I went with a dirt tune that was uploaded by the Hatchet Kit earlier this year, called A-Dirt. It features 6.8 speed, 6.9 handling, 10 for acceleration and launch, and a 7.4 for braking. If you want to see where this will bring you, then give it a go yourself. Let me know in the comments below. This is not a car tune combination that I would recommend if you want to win, but it proved to be very fun and challenging, exactly what I was aiming for. Although there were some shifts in positions, I am still in 9th place. A driver tour in front of me switched places with one behind me, leaving me exactly in the same spot. So here I am, still struggling with the ice skates that seem to appear underneath my car from time to time. But I want to do better. Better than 9th place. I want at least 3 driver tours behind me when I cross the finish line, and hopefully even gain some other places. So when I gained on the driver tour in front, I thought of this smart move to take a different racing line. But the cobblestone wall decided otherwise. Not a smart move after all, and instead of gaining one place, I lost another one, down to 10th place. How will I ever recover from this? I'm getting desperate, tears welling up in my eyes. I can't go down like this. I will rise up and fight. 1 place gained already, and soon another. But let's be honest, the biggest jump of all is coming towards us. There is just no way this one can go smooth in this car. This is another jump where I regularly end up in trouble. Often because I clip the wall before the jump, or end up sideways, or just spin out when landing, or any combination of the 3 aforementioned conditions. In this case, I met 2 out of 3 conditions, and it still allowed me to continue my journey without spinning out. This car is very well suited for jumps, it seems. At least the ones I usually struggle with. 8th place, 3 driver tours behind. That means 1 item off my bucket list. If I can hold my ground for the remainder of this race, that is. The driver tour behind hot on my tail with little over 15% to go, and the cars in front are way ahead. Even though I had to break through all of the debris, I am slowly running away from the driver tour behind me. I believe this means we are nearing the end of the race, where they tend to slow down just a little bit. Now, a spawning teammate indicates that he missed a checkpoint, another position in my pocket. While we go for one last trip around the rail yard before we can call it a day. I have some strange shifting behavior, some lost waltzing Matilda moves from the car, and a whole lot of debris between me and the finish line just to keep things interesting. 1 driver tour behind is very close, but it is the driver tour in front that ultimately decides my finishing position, as he got himself completely stuck. That means I end up in 6th place with this car, against a lot of Titan-sized cars. In this race, the Titan. Not too bad. Even though I have made multiple mistakes, I am quite proud of myself. And the team as well did a very good job, as we also get the final championship point. All 3 points go to our team, and this means we win the New Year, New Me Co-op Championship. And as a reward, we get another Titan to add to our collection. The Pterodyne Gurkha Light Armored Patrol Vehicle. This championship was quite a ride. Very challenging as my car was quite the odd duck, but in the end proved to be very fun, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we play this game, is it not? I also level up, and that means I get a wheel spin where I could win a car or a load of money. Now I want a nice car that I do not yet own. I don't care for the money. Oh well, never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this first episode of the new year, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Happy New Year, and hope to see you in my next video.